first graders. Today we are going to be getting into Chapter 2, Lesson 9. All you're going to need for this lesson is just your GoMath book and your pencil. Once you have these two items, then we can get started. Our I can statement for today's lesson says, I can fluently subtract within 10. Let's turn to page 85 in our math books. At the top of page 85, it says, listen and draw. The directions say, draw a picture to show the problem. Then, write the subtraction problem two different ways. Listen to the following problem. There are 5 birds in a tree. 2 birds fly away. How many birds are still in the tree? Our first step is to draw a picture to show the problem. I want you to draw a picture that shows 5 birds in a tree and then 2 birds that fly away. Pause the video now and then we'll check back in on our drawings after you're finished. Now that we've had some time to draw 5 birds in a tree and 2 birds that fly away, let's check out what we did. It's possible that you drew 5 circles to represent 5 birds. And then you could have circled 2 of them for the 2 birds that fly away, and then cross out those 2 birds that fly away. This is one way you could have drawn the problem, but it's possible that you showed a different way, and that's okay. All that matters is that you're showing 5 in total with 2 birds going away or flying away. Our next job is to write the subtraction problem in 2 different ways. We are going to first write the subtraction sentence horizontally, which means across. We started out with 5 birds to begin. So we will write 5 as the first number in our subtraction sentence. After that, in the problem, we learned that 2 birds flew away. So then we will write 5 minus 2. Last but not least, the answer is the number of birds that are left. There are 3 birds left. 1, 2, 3. That means 3 shows how many birds are left. That's our answer. Now we are going to write the subtraction sentence vertically, which means up and down. Our total is the number of birds to start with, which was 5. 5 minus the number of birds that flew away, so minus 2. And our answer, remember, is the number of birds that is left, which is 3. So taking a look at these 2 ways that we wrote our subtraction sentence, how are these 2 subtraction sentences alike? You might be noticing that they both have a minus sign and they both use the same numbers. But how are the 2 subtraction sentences different? Let's think about that. What do you think? How are the 2 subtraction sentences different? You might be thinking that they are different because they are going different ways. This subtraction sentence goes across. This subtraction sentence here is going down. Let's listen to another word problem. Steve has 6 crayons. He gives 4 to Matt. How many crayons does Steve have now? Once again, I want you to try to draw that problem on your own. 6 crayons, and then the boy gives 4 to Matt. Pause the video here and try your best to draw that word problem. Then when you're finished, you can unpause the video. Now that you've had some time to draw, let's check out and see what we did. We know that Steve had 6 crayons. So one way that you could have shown that is by drawing 6 crayon shapes, or maybe some rectangles. This shows 6 crayons. We also learned from the problem that he gives 4 crayons to Matt. So we can circle 4 crayons and then cross them out to show that he's giving 4 of them to Matt. Next, our job is to write the subtraction problem in 2 different ways, just like we did on the first one. So we started out with 6 crayons because Steve had 6. Then he gave 4 crayons away to Matt. So that means our subtraction sentence will say 6 minus 4. The answer, or the difference, is how many crayons Steve has now. Steve has 2 crayons left. That means our answer is 2. When we write it vertically or up and down, we will use the same numbers, just like we saw in the first problem. 6 is the number of crayons that we started with. Then Steve gave 4 of the crayons away, so 6 minus 4, and our answer is still 2 because that is the number of crayons that Steve has left. Let's turn to page 86 in our math books. At the top, it says Model and Draw. The directions say, write the subtraction problem. We are going to write a subtraction problem to represent this picture first. What subtraction sentence could we write for the picture of these peppers? Well, let's see how many we're starting with. We're starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Since we're starting with 8, that will be our first number at the top of our subtraction sentence. 8. Next, we see that 6 peppers are circled, 6 red peppers are circled and crossed out right here. So these are the number of peppers to subtract. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peppers that are crossed out. So we will write minus 6. Then the number of green peppers that are left will be our answer. 1, 2. There are only 2 green peppers left. So 2 is our answer. Now let's take a look at our next picture. What kind of subtraction sentence could we write for the picture of the birds? Well, the picture of the birds shows 7 birds in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The picture shows 7 birds. So our first number in our subtraction sentence will be 7. Then we see that there are some birds flying away. Let's count how many birds are flying away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 birds are flying away. So our subtraction sentence will now say 7 minus 4. Last, we'll see how many birds are left on the branch, and that will give us our answer to our subtraction problem. How many birds are left on the branch? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 birds left on the branch. That means our answer is 3. Now let's take a look at the bottom half of our page. It says, share, and show. The directions say, write the subtraction problem. Number 1 shows us a picture of some ladybugs. So just like we did on the problems above, you are going to first count the total number of ladybugs, and you'll write that at the top. Then you are going to see how many ladybugs are flying away, and that will be the number to subtract. Last, you're going to see how many ladybugs are left on the leaf, and that will be your answer. I want you to try your best on numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and pause the video and try your best on numbers 1 through 4. When you're finished, you can unpause the video and then we will check out the work that we did. I know you can do it. All right, let's check out number 1 first. Number 1 shows us 10 ladybugs in all to begin with. Then we see that there are some ladybugs flying away. There are 4 ladybugs flying away. Then you would have counted all the ladybugs that are still left on the leaf. There are still 6 ladybugs left on the leaf. So your subtraction sentence for number 1 should say 10 minus 4 equals 6. Check and make sure that's what your subtraction sentence looks like. If it doesn't, that's okay. You can fix it now. Number 2 shows us some tomatoes. There are 9 tomatoes in total. There are 2 yellow tomatoes crossed out. So your subtraction sentence should say 9 minus 2. The answer is the number of red tomatoes that are still left. There are 7 red tomatoes. That means your answer is 7. Check and make sure that your subtraction sentence says 9 minus 2 equals 7. Now let's check out number 3. Number 3 shows us 4 heads of lettuce. So the first number in your subtraction sentence should be 4. Then it shows that there are 2 heads of lettuce crossed out. So your subtraction sentence should now say 4 minus 2. The answer is the number of heads of lettuce that are still left, which are purple. There are 2 heads of lettuce that are purple. So that is our answer. Check and make sure for number 3 that your subtraction sentence says 4 minus 2 equals 2. Last but not least, let's look at number 4. Number 4 shows us 3 bunnies. So your first number in your subtraction sentence should be 3. 3 minus, there are 2 bunnies running away, so 3 minus 2. Then your answer is the number of bunnies that is still left. There is 1 bunny still left, so our answer is 1. Make sure your subtraction sentence says 3 minus 2 equals 1. Now let's turn to page 87 in our math books. At the top it says, on your own. That means this page is going to be done on your own, by yourself. For numbers 5 all the way to number 22, you are going to try your best to subtract. After that, number 23 will be a writing problem. So it says, explain how the picture shows subtraction. That means you are going to use your words to write how this picture shows that you're subtracting cherries. Remember to take a picture of page 87 and submit it here on Seesaw. You all did such a great job during this lesson, so I know that you will also do a great job on page 87 as well. All right, first graders, I will see you later. Bye.